Welcome to Digital Learning, an initiative of Directorate of Collegiate Education. The Liar, a short story written by Mulkraj Anand, is prescribed for 3rd semester BCom General English, Bengaluru North University. After every lesson, a language activity follows. So, this session we will be concentrating on the language activity after the lesson, The Liar. I am Nandana NG, Assistant Professor of English, Government First Grade College, Bagepalli. The language component of this session will focus on sales letter. We'll try to deal in detail as to what defines a sales letter, and also a model sales letter is given here for added information. So, the contents of the session are as follows: recapitulation of previous knowledge, learning objectives, so that we'll have an inkling as to what is it that the session intends to achieve. Session outcome will be what the student can look forward at the end of the session, and then it is followed by introduction to sales letter. Limitation of a sales letter also is discussed in detail. Sales letter are very prerequisite of our business world, and so in this session we will be introducing the commerce students to sales letter, but also what are all the limitations pertaining to the sales letter. What are the essentials, prerequisites to draft a sales letter, or how to draft a sales letter also is discussed here in detail, and added to it a model sales letter also will be provided, including the format of a sales letter. And finally, a recap session will be there where all the elements discussed previously in the session like introduction, limitations, essentials to draft a sales letter, and how a model sales letter, all this will be recapitulated. And finally, a multiple choice question session will follow to assess what is it that the student has learned through the course of this session. Now, recap of previous knowledge. What are the different ways of promoting a product? As commerce students, they will be familiar with the term product or launching a product or promoting a product. But then there are many ways of promoting a product. If a question like this, what are the different ways of promoting a product, is asked in the class, hundreds of students will come up with 100 different ways of promoting a product. So, here the answer is more individual here. There are many ways of promoting a product, like brochure, advertisement, it could be on the social media, phone call, anyway, even word of mouth publicity or media advertisements. Many ways are there of promoting a product. Second question, why sales letter is important in business? Sales letter are very important if business has to be expanded, because sales letter can be considered the crucial link which will be elucidating on all the important parts of the product and how the letters will add to the business. The more number of recipients as they receive the letter, the publicity to the product also will increase, and as a turn business also will increase. What is the main objective of a sales letter? Well, the answer to this is quite simple. The purpose of writing a sales letter is to make sure to, in fact, more or less, you are trying to hook up a prospective customer. You are telling a prospective customer about the merits of a product, so that through the course of a sales letter, the customer is hooked to the points given there, and he will end up buying the product and also advertise for the product to others. How is a sales letter important in business? We have already discussed this. Yes, sales letters are very important as they help for the business to expand. Now, the last question, does the sales letter attract customers? Well, the answer is yes and no. It depends on the format in which the letter is written or the letter is drafted. Ordinary sales letter massively produced might not touch the customer, but if a sales letter is written keeping individual customers, or if there is some unique aspect coming to the sales letter, it will definitely attract the customers. The learning objectives of this session are: the student can think of, or the student can learn how to develop social or communication skills. It will also expose the students to the art of letter writing. It will enable the students to write sales letters. It will help the students to distinguish between the style and tone in formal and informal letters. Also, the student can develop an interest for language learning through this exercise, and also the students will be familiarized with the draft of writing sales letter. So, session outcomes. At the end of the session, students will be able to carefully draft a sales letter. They will be able to persuade a specific reader to purchase a service or a product. Persuasion is an art. Letter, again, writing a letter also is an art, but through the course of a letter, if a person is able to convince the other person about a product, then it shows that he has the art of writing a sales letter. The student also by the end of the session will be able to draw the attention of the prospective client through a well drafted sales letter. The student can be able to distinguish the style and tone in formal, informal and business letters, and also the student can gain experience writing sales letters effectively, which will in turn help him later in his career. It will also express their credibility. So, at the end of the session, the student will be more or less in position how to write a good sales letter. Now, let us have an introduction to sales letter. What are sales letter? To define a sales letter, it is a persuasive letter written by a businessman to a customer to convince him to buy his goods. For example, I have something to sell. If I just tell the other person you have to buy it, he might not like it. He might even question, why should I buy it? But on the contrary, if I put the same in the form of a letter wherein I list out the merits of the product and convince or persuade the customer or persuade the person to write it, and if I am able to convince him, then it is known as a sales letter. Every business letter is a sales letter. Yes, this statement is also definitely true, because every business letter which is written with a positive intent can be considered as a sales letter, because every business letter is considered the stepping stone upon which the business can expand. The main aim of this letter, that is a sales letter, is to promote the goods easily and quickly. Yes, once you establish the authenticity of the product, the publicity will spread quickly, and as a result you will be able to get more number of prospective customers. It goes straight to the reader and draws his or her attention. Here the art, it all pertains to how the company is able to compose sales letter, or how the sales letter has come out. If it is really artistic, if it is really unique, and if it is able to convince the reader, then it will definitely draw his or her attention. It targets a specific reader to purchase a service or product. Yes, you should first do your homework. If you are trying to launch a product which most of the college going students might be interested, then your customers also should be the college going crowd. If you send a letter to a adult who might not be interested in teenage things, then you are sending a letter to a wrong reader there. Here, for example, if you are interested in selling fragrance or perfumes for that matter, I remember once I had received a sales letter. The moment I opened the sales letter, that fragrance came up to my nostrils, and in fact the sale letter was pertaining to a product, a new perfume that had come to the market. And the unique thing about the sales letter was the letter was full of fragrance. In fact, it gave an idea as to what perfume you can expect. Actually, I was convinced about that, and I remember going out and buying the perfume. So, you should know how to target a specific reader and how to convince the person to purchase a service or a product. Yes, limitations of a sales letter is also there. What are all the limitations of a sales letter? Compared to other business letters, it is unsolicited. Yes, you cannot expect that every person that you send it to, that they will definitely receive it and read it. Yes, there is a possibility that it is unsolicited. It's not expected. It is not likely to get a warm welcome from the reader. Usually sales letter are treated like spam or unwanted advertisements. Usually they are not even opened, they might even be thrown for all you know, but still they are not welcomed. But then you never know, if at all the prospective customer opens the sales letter, he or she might be engrossed and they might end up buying the product. Within a limited space, it has to perform this following function. So the possibility of the prospective customer opening the letter itself is small, but still if at all it happens, then the following things should be there. The letter should be able to attract attention of the prospective customer. It should create interest and desire. As in when the person is reading the sales letter, he should be attracted by the content and he should be interested, and the desire to buy the product should grow in that person. Winning confidence or creating conviction. The sales letter should be in such a way that you should be able to win the confidence of the prospective customer and also convince the customer to buy the product. Inducing action. You should propel the customer. Some sort of action should be taken from them. If you tell them, if you go out and buy the product within a day or two, this much of discount or a free product also will be given along with that. This induces the prospective client to go out and end up buying the product. What are the essential points to remember in mind while drafting a sales letter? Remember, it is an individualistic and not a routine one. While drafting sales letter, keep in mind that these are not mass produced letters. Mass produced letters never have any appeal to anyone. Every letter should look like it is individually written. Yes, the content might be massively produced, but the introduction part should be as if when the person receives the letter is literally drafted only for him. It should be creative with a personal touch. The matter in the letter should be such that certain things should appeal to the customer. The person should feel that he or she, whoever is reading the letter, it is directly speaking to them. It should be attractive in appearance and content, and it should looks wise also. The letter should not look like ordinary business letter. It should not look like mundane letters. It should have some attractive appearance. It should be as brief as possible. A long letter will rarely attract the reader's attention. That is true. Now the phase of letter writing has already passed, but still it's very rarely that a person has that much of interest and inclination to go through an entire letter. If at all you have gained the interest or attention of a person, try to be as brief as possible. The person will not be interested in a long letter. It will rarely attract. Be brief and come to the point. It should be polite and courteous. Coming to the language part, be very polite. Try not to use any profanity or any vulgar words, and try to be very courteous in whatever you are trying to sell. It should be lucid and clear. Yes, what is it that you are trying to sell? What are the benefits of it? What are the positive points? Be very clear. Don't talk in riddles. As it is, the person is getting to hear about the product for the first time. If you are not clear there, he or she might lose interest. They might not even realize what is the product that is being advertised there, and you might lose a prospective client. There should be no exaggeration of things beyond reality. This is absolutely true. Do not exaggerate. Whatever the product is, be as honest and truthful as possible. Do not exaggerate more than what it can do, because being overly exaggerative, you can force the customer to buy the product, but after a single use, the person will come to the realization that it is not according to what you had claimed in the letter, and that will actually become negative publicity. So make sure that you do not have any exaggeration of the things beyond reality. A model sales letter is provided here. Please observe the format. Imagine you are writing a sales letter on behalf of a company. Now the company here in name is Archana Soap Works. Always start a letter on a fresh page, and the name of the company should come in the middle. It should resemble a letterhead. Write the name of the company in capital letters, Archana Soap Works. Just below that, the next line, write the address. And after that, leave a line, and on the right side of the page, write the name. Observe the format of the date, 1st November 2020. Spell out 1st November 2020. Do not write it in the format of 1/11/2020. There is a reason for that. In the Western countries, usually the format followed is month appears first and then the date follows, followed by the year. While in India, date comes first, followed by the month and later the year. If you write 1/11/20, there is a possibility of a person who is in US to be confusing it with the month first. 11, he will consider it as first, that is January month 11th. So there is a possibility of that happening. So make sure you spell it out as 1st November 2020. And come to the left side, write the address to whom you are intending it. Remember, sales letter are individualistic. So, to whomever you are writing this letter, the person's name and address should be clearly given there, and leave a line and start the letter. The salutation will be dear madam or sir. Try using a proverb or a saying. Here the proverb that is used is, face is the index of a personality. It says that if you have a very attractive face, it shows that you also have an attractive personality. As we saw in the letterhead on top there, this is a sales letter about a soap brand. So we have used a proverb saying that face is the index of a personality. Now let us continue. If you want to make your face more beautiful, you can enhance your personality. We have a simple device for making the face more beautiful. Use our Blossom Beauty toilet soap regularly to make your face blossom like a rose. It is clinically tested and well researched in the lab. It keeps your skin smooth. Your friends Neeta, Rita, Sita, Kamala and other beauty conscious ladies are using it. Don't you want to try it once? That's a question there. Stocks are limited. Hurry up. Your delay may deny you of your beauty. If you observe, it's a small para. It's quite brief. It just first comes to the point directly. It says, if you want to look beautiful, and now this is again a question, why would not any girl for that matter, why would she not want to look beautiful? So you're questioning her. If you want to look beautiful, if you want to enhance your personality, we have a simple solution. You are asking a question and you're also providing a solution by saying that using this particular brand of soap will enhance the face, and as a result your personality also will be enhanced. Obviously, now the first question that's going to come in the client's mind is it safe? So your next sentence will be the answer for that, wherein you say it is clinically tested and well researched in the lab, and it also keeps your skin smooth. Now that the safety and the hygiene part is taken care of, you convince the person further by saying that her other friends, her other college mates are also using it. It is more like a psychological thing. If your neighbors are using it, you also feel compelled to use it. So after giving the details about the product and how it is safe to use and how others are also using it, you try to induce them to action. You say, don't you try it once? It is as if you are questioning them. Don't you feel compelled? Aren't you curious? Aren't you inquisitive? But then you also put a word there saying that stocks are limited. Now this should induce the person to go out immediately and buy up in the fear that the stocks might not be available. Hurry up, your delay may deny you of your beauty. The last sentence again adds up to what the soap actually promises there. It says if the person hurries up, goes and buys the soap, they will not be denied of a chance of looking beautiful. And then please complimentary closure there, that comes on the right hand corner. You can add the phrase yours sincerely for Archana Soapworks, Ramesh Sharma, the sales manager. So this is the format of a sales letter. Sorry. Let us try to recap what we learned through this course of the session. Sales letter is a letter written by a businessman to a customer to convince him to buy his goods. Every letter is considered a business letter is considered a sales letter. The main aim of this letter is to promote the goods easily and quickly. Compared to other business letters, it is unsolicited. It is not likely to get a warm welcome from the reader. Yes, that is there, but then still you go ahead because you never know who might end up reading the letter. It should be polite and courteous. Coming to the language part, be very polite and courteous, but at the same time it should also be lucid and clear. There should be no exaggeration of things beyond reality, and do not promise more than that you can deliver. Whatever it is, stick to the point, because exaggeration will not take you in a long way in the world of business. Let us assess ourselves through the help of these multiple choice questions. Sales letter is a business letter, personal letter, request letter, or an informal letter? The answer is option A. Sales letter is a business letter. What is the main aim of a sales letter? Requesting for a job, receiving goods, chat with a friend, or to promote goods for sale? The answer is option D. The main aim of a sales letter is to promote goods for sale. One of the functions of a sales letter is dash, commanding to buy goods, creating interest and desire, inquiring about one's health, or forcing the customer to buy. The answer is one of the functions of a sales letter is creating interest and desire, option B. Dash is a limitation of a sales letter. All welcome it, everyone accepts it, unsolicited, solicited. Unsolicited. Option C is the answer. Unsolicited is a limitation of a sales letter. A good sales letter must be courteous and polite, demanding and forceful, impersonal touch, lengthy and routine. Option A is the answer. A good sales letter must be courteous and polite. The sources and references used for this session: